So viewers, you're in for a treat today. My name is Deborah Lockwood. I'm a cardiologist and success coach. And if you are either planning on or in the early stages of a career in cardiology, then this series of interviews is designed to both inform and inspire you, showing you what others before you have found valuable in becoming successful in cardiology. As you may know, there's a lot of information being circulated containing tips and tricks for success in general, largely based on interviews with industry magnates. But in this series, we wanted to both find out whether those techniques have been responsible for success in our own profession, as well as to bring out other important strategies that may be particular to our situation. I'm truly delighted to have the opportunity to interview our guest for this session, since apart from having been very successful as a cardiologist and electrophysiologist, he is also a real example of success through collaboration and cooperation rather than competition. I had the pleasure of working as one of his partners over an 18-year timeframe and know him to be hardworking and driven, but always fair and courteous, the sort of person who deserves to be a leader and a model for others to follow. He is also an example of possibility for doctors who did not grow up in America, the foreign medical graduates, having been born and raised in Taipei, Taiwan. In fact, he graduated from medical school from the National Taiwan University in 1986 and came to the USA in 1989. After first studying the biophysics of cardiovascular ion channels for a PhD at Vanderbilt, he then did his internal medicine residency at Vanderbilt, followed by a cardiology and EP fellowship at Johns Hopkins. He joined the faculty of the Heart Rhythm Institute at Oklahoma University in 2000 and has been the director of clinical EP there since 2008. He currently holds the rank of Professor of Medicine in the Cardiovascular section of Oklahoma University as holder of the Warren Jackman Chair of Cardiac Electrophysiology since 2013. He is Dr. Sunny Po. And Sunny, it is a pleasure to talk with you today.
Yeah, it's quite a great honor to be considered as a successful cardiologist by Dr. Lockwood. So I also can feel very honored to have the opportunity to share my thoughts with you about the career path. Hopefully my thoughts will be helpful to you.
Lovely. I would like to warm up with some basic general questions about your routine, since many success manuals give importance to such things for increasing productivity and for success in general. So first of all, can you tell us what time do you get up in the morning, and is it always the same or does it vary?
Yeah, I live in a very disciplined life because of the profession. So on weekdays, I would get up at about 5:30 and do maybe half an hour of kind of exercise, mainly stretch, because from my professional career, I figured out, by watching others and also myself that wearing lead for many hours can take a very bad toll on our health. So I would do some kind of stretch, a mild exercise before I even get out of my house. I think the important thing is, I think a kind of a disciplined life and on a regular schedule is very important. I've learned not to kind of sit up for the night for anything anymore. And if I have to do something, I would do it in the morning when I'm more, I guess I'm maybe more sharp in the morning. On weekends, I will sleep until I wake up naturally. For my body to tell me, how much rest I need to make up for the stress or the lack of sleep during the week during the weekdays. No, but I sleep at least 8 hours a day. Otherwise, I would be cranky.
I've never seen you cranky. Okay, so tell me, so you do have a very strict regime with a morning routine, which is one of the things that is often prescribed. So have you also studied time management?
Not that much, because I do kind of slightly differently. I do have a kind of a plan for what I want to do this week and what I want to do each day. So based on how I set my priority for the day, I usually don't have to go through any very strict time management kind of program or studies. So I think I manage my time reasonably well. I think the most important thing is to set the priorities. There are many things that we just have to let it go off and decide what we need to do first and what we need to do last.
Okay, yeah, I would agree with that. Do you go out of your way to outsource or delegate low-value tasks, or do you often just do them yourself?
Depends. Like, my secretary always complained that I don't have much for her to do. That has been going on for over 20 years. So I think after I set the right priority, a lot of the kind of the low value tasks actually can be done very easily by myself, or I delegate it to somebody else. I think the most important part is you have to know what is important, what is the things that you have to do yourself. And after that, everything is easier.
Wonderful. Okay, very useful tips. So, Sunny, on a scale of 1 to 10, how optimistic a person do you feel that you are?
I would say depends on the day. When you greet me in the morning, I quite often say, yeah, it's too early to complain. And when you greet me in the afternoon, I may say, it's too late to complain. I think on a scale of 10, I'd say I may be 7. My favorite Disney character is Eeyore, the donkey with Great Depression. Yeah, it's kind of funny, but I'm not that negative, but I just like this character. That kind of diluted my unnecessary enthusiasm a little bit. Yeah, that will be more balanced and healthy.
I don't remember you ever being an Eeyore. Okay.
Actually, some of my workers now, when they get my call, the cell phone will actually show the Eeyore's picture. They know it's me.
Okay. So the next question, have you always had a clear vision of who, where, and what you wanted to be, or what you wanted to achieve 1 or 5 years in the future, or just for, you said you plan a day and a week, but do you have a clear vision for the next few years?
Yeah, I do plan I always have a 5-year, sometimes 10-year plan for what I want to do, but it's a very big picture. So whether you want to accomplish your dream and how to accomplish your dream is a separate issue. For example, from the time I graduated from medical school, I knew I wanted to be an academic physician, like physician scientist, that kind of things. So I actually never looked into going to private practice, but I left my mind open. When I was a graduate student at Vanderbilt, I was interested in cancer biology and also some cardiovascular related research. But with time, I found out, I really like the biophysics of the ion channels. So that kind of led me to the direction I am right now. So I never actually had a very fixed plan about what I want to do, but I will ask myself what I want to do 5 years from now. For example, at this point, the main question is, how long do I want to work at this pace? 5 years, or until 65, or until 70, or until I cannot do it anymore? That's the main thing I'm considering now. 20 years ago, the main thing I was thinking about is, how do I get to be a kind of a prolific physician scientist, and in the field I'm interested in. So I think we all need a kind of a bigger picture for the next 5 and 10 years, 5 or 10 years. But that picture should be modified all the time.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. So knowing where you are now, when you started your career, is this very close to what you pictured yourself doing, or did you dream of something bigger or smaller or just different?
I think it's pretty close, and I think I have reached what I can do, my capability, or you can say intelligence. there are things that we always can dream bigger, but no, it's not practical. I think I'm pretty much achieved what I can do. I'm not dreaming more. What I want to, if I have any dream about my career, is kind of how to pass my knowledge to this kind of the next generation of physicians. That would be probably high on my mind.
Mm-hmm. So when you first started your career, you had a good idea of what you wanted to end up doing, and you've done it. But did you know what steps you would need to take to get where you are now from early on, or did the steps just gradually appear to you as you progressed?
The skill sets, I think I think I acquired my skill sets basically based on what I plan to do for the next 3 or 5 years. And again, it's a very flexible kind of plan. I may think about something else next year, so I need to acquire some new skills. I think skill sets they are important, but a big picture, what you want to do 5, 10 years is far more important. It's like a war. They talked about you have to plan for the grand strategy first before you plan for the battle. The same thing. I think that to me the skill set is like the battle, and the big picture is the strategy.
Okay, good. So along the way, along your journey, did any completely unpredictable or unexpected things happen that either propelled you on your path or blocked you?
If we talk about something bad that happened, no, I think about 10 years ago, no, we were working on preclinical studies, and we got into trouble with PETA, and so we got a lot of problems that we had to stop some of the preclinical studies. That was a big kind of setback for my career. Otherwise, we could have found out a lot of important things to treat cardiac arrhythmias. That would be, but I kind of learned my lesson that if God closed the door for you, He opens another window for you. So from that point, I kind of stopped doing preclinical research and became a person interested in randomized clinical trials. So that becomes a different kind of career path. So I think we all will encounter some kind of setbacks in the career. But if we are open-minded and open up another career path, another venue, that should not be a problem. Nobody should be depressed by any setbacks. The field is wide enough for all of us.
So in retrospect, would you have done anything differently, or do you think you did it right and it all turned out pretty much as you would hope?
Yeah, I think I should have seen the problem that can come from certain people who don't like preclinical research, but I didn't regret of anything we did. We did the best we could, and just the trend of the research field is not what we were thinking, but I did find a nice venue to to continue my research on a very similar subject.
Okay. And I know that you are very much an ideas person. In fact, I know you're also very generous with your ideas to other people. So here's a question for you specifically. When do you get your most inspired ideas? Do you tend to get them when you're alone or doing something like meditating or sleeping or taking a shower?
Believe it or not, it's in airplane because nobody can reach you. I do a lot of international travels. If I travel to Asia from San Francisco to, for example, to Beijing, it will take 13 hours. So at that time, nobody can find you. So I always bring some important things to do, to think. So that's the kind of the precious time that I don't have any interruptions. I actually, most of my good research ideas came from contemplating on the subjects in airplanes. So air travel can be stressful, but the the upside of that is nobody bothers you. You can think, and you can think about something very hard without any interruption.
So for people who are maybe not as far along the career path as you and don't get invited to do lots of airplane travel, would you suggest to them, for example, that they, have a period of time, I don't know, each day or each week where they shut their doors and put a sign on and say, not to be disturbed, even though they don't really have anything planned, maybe?
Yeah. Go to a corner of your either hospital or just a local library. And just for maybe once every month or 2 months, just go there for about 4 hours and shut down everything and sit in the corner and planning what you think needs to be planned. Yeah, no interruption, no cell phone, nothing. And it's actually a very good thing to stay away from your phone. So I think a lot of the things are distracting us, like a lot of unnecessary social media chats, that actually can be very distracting.
Agreed. So on a different tack, did you have a clearly defined mentor during your career, or maybe several different mentors? And what qualities in that mentor made their effect on you worthwhile?
Okay, that's a very important question. I think for me, the most important part is the grand strategy, what I want to be. And after that, the job is to find the mentor. So when I graduated from the cardiology and EP program at Hopkins, I was trying to find a place to work to start my career. I looked at probably 7 or 8 places, and the goal is to find a good mentor in both research and clinical practice. I'm a little bit different from everybody else. When I finished my training that year, in May, I have not found a job I wanted yet. So my mentor, Dr. Hugh Calkins at Johns Hopkins, asked me, "Sonny, what did you do? What kind of stupid things you said in your interview? Why didn't you have a job? You come from Johns Hopkins." So I told Hugh that, I need a good mentor. Otherwise, I know my academic career would not start. I can go to a very prestigious university, and if I don't have a mentor, I will not have any chance to success. So eventually, I found this place, University of Oklahoma. I have a wonderful electrophysiologist, Warren Jackman, who basically pioneered the operation techniques. And also doctors Ralph Lazara and Ben Scholaks. They also pioneered the experimental electrophysiology. So I was pretty happy when I came here. And so for mentor, I think there are 2 different types of mentors. One is the mentor to guide your career path, who gives you the big pictures. The second type of mentor is the ones that teach you the skill sets. Dr. Lockwood asked me before. So the 2 kinds of mentor will guide you differently. It's hard to find a mentor who can guide you on both sides of the career, but we may end up having a few mentors and guide us in 2 different directions, getting better skill sets and also getting a better direction of the career path.
Yeah, agreed. And they were quite wonderful mentors, weren't they? So regarding your work-life balance, do you spend what you consider a reasonable amount of time or energy on yourself and on personal relationships and family, or do you feel that maybe you've had to sacrifice these for your career?
Yeah, I do balance my career and my life very carefully. For example, I only have one child. When he grew up, from the time he was a baby to the time he finished high school, if I promised him anything that I will be there, I will be there. I think over the past, from he was born to he finished high school, I only missed one event. I promised him I would be there, but I failed to show up. I think it's important, and I think I learned from a lot of great cardiologists that if you don't have a good family life, your career will be severed, because you bring your the struggles you had in your family back to work, and bring your struggles back to home. So the two things will actually perpetuate each other. So your career path becomes more and more difficult. I strongly recommend everybody, balance his work and life. When anybody asks me, can I get a day off or something, I always tell them, family first. If you need to do something for your family, you go ahead. Your daughter you need to be there earlier. You needed to leave earlier to attend your daughter's ballet rehearsal. No, you should be there, and you should leave earlier. So I think everybody should have the mindset for your employees and also for yourself that family first is important. I do think I might have sacrificed my career a little bit. I could have gotten more grant or whatever, but I have no regret that I'm very close to my child. I have no regret that I might have lost a little bit in my career.
Well, and probably, as you said, maybe you didn't lose anything out, because having a happy home life helps you to be more successful at work as well. So maybe no sacrifice was helped to propel you to success. So do you, on the same lines, do you take any actual vacation time off each year, and approximately how much if you do?
Yeah, I would take as much as I could take. I think vacation is very important. When my son was younger, we did a lot of those driving trips, because three of us, my wife, my son, and I, are in the car, and we talk about everything. So it's actually very important. If you plan for a trip, let's say, for example, if you drive, that may be 8 hours. You fly, that may be 8 hours too. Driving actually is a good thing. So you have the whole family in the car, and you can talk about a lot of things that you usually don't talk about. So that's what we had when my son was younger. And but vacation is is very sacred thing for the family. Last year, three of us went to Greece together for 2 weeks. My son was 26. He is delighted when your son said to you, "Yeah, let's have a vacation together." When he's already out of your payroll, I think that's very important. If you can get, I think everybody should have a good vacation, at least ideally 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, so to go someplace that you usually cannot get to. 1 week sometimes is short too. The trip will be packed too tight.
Right. Okay. So this is a very different question, but do you feel that you have a particularly close relationship with a higher power of any kind to whom you attribute some of your success, or that you're particularly spiritual, or are you very factual and secular?
I would consider myself a devout Christian, but I don't go to church anymore because I don't like the way church teaches the people. For a long time, one of the days I would do before I start my kind of evening work, I would read the Bible for just maybe for a chapter or a few verses. And prayer is always the first thing I do when I kind of get my car out of the garage. I think it's important, and it doesn't have to be religion. And I think a faith in something, can be religion or something else, can guide you to do something that will not be too much off the line, because the value of the society change very quickly. If we have some kind of idea that is anchored to something which is good and that is worthwhile, especially for children to grow up. I think that's my personal journey. I I don't go to church anymore, but I do consider myself a devout Christian.
Right. So, is there anything that you wish that you had done completely differently in your career and or in your life?
Well, I guess no. I watched my son grow up, and now he is kind of exploring his life. When he's in his 20s, I wish I had that kind of opportunity. For many of us who were doctors, we follow the kind of straight path from high school to college to medical school and residency, fellowship, and faculty, and so that kind of things. I never had any break. The happiest time I had was when I was a graduate student. I worked 2 years before I went to Vanderbilt, so I have a little bit of money saved. And as a graduate student, if your stipend and scholarship are taken care of, and the life is enjoyable, you learn new things, and you don't have to worry about the next bill, that kind of thing. So that's the happiest time of my life. I just wish, if when I was younger, I had an opportunity of doing a year or two of the gap years to do something completely off the track. That's what I had hoped for, but I never had the opportunity. So my son is doing that. I think it is a wonderful thing to do.
I agree. And as someone who did that myself, I totally recommend it also. So if you were able to spend 2 or 3 minutes with a 20-year-old you, what advice would you give them?
I think find out what you like. People, your family may kind of wish you to take certain career paths. You don't have to do that, but you kind of want to find out what you really don't want to do, because the opportunities are plenty. If you know what you don't want to do, the things you consider doing can be, the choices are very, very good. So that's what I would say. Be open-minded and always find somebody who you can seek advices from, maybe your parents or your professor or anybody who can provide some advices, and keep your mind open.
Good. So from here, where do we go from here? Do you have any clear future goals that you're able to share with us? And if not personally, then do you have anything that you see as the future of cardiology or electrophysiology that's exciting?
For career, I don't. As I said earlier, the main thing I'm considering now is how we can pass the current kind of the knowledge to the next generation effectively. I always tell the fellows that I'm happy that I'm actually are more close to the end of my career than the beginning of my career. I don't have to worry about the RVU, the relative value unit thing. People are working for the RVUs, and the value of academic medicine has been greatly diminished by that. They look at your RVU and your research, your intellectual work, didn't seem to matter that anymore, not like 20 years ago. So I really like to kind of pass the knowledge to the next generation of physicians, both knowledge and also work ethics. Work ethics is important to be physicians. A lot of times I tell them that your work is not done yet. Your patient is still kind of not that stable. You certainly can go home and pass that down to whoever is on call. But if I were you, I would stay, because I usually am the last person to leave if the patient is not stable. So you just have to understand that your responsibility is probably longer than you think it is. Yeah. I think that would be the work ethics and the work. I think it's going to be a problem, because these are the doctors who will take care of me when I'm old and sick. If they don't learn this kind of ownership and the sense of responsibility, I really don't know where I should get my health care when I'm old and sick.
Well, I know that there are plenty of fellows and people who formerly worked with you who have gained so much from you in that way that they will go on, and I'm sure they'll be around to look after you when you're older and you need their help.
Yeah.
So we're coming to an end here. Do you have anything else you want to say? I think you've shared with us so many pearls of wisdom there. That was really wonderful, Sunny, and thank you so much for your time. If you have anything else to add to what you've said, then please do. But
Okay, I think find a good mentor is probably the most important things. The mentor can help you plan 5, 10 years. If you don't know what to do, find a mentor is probably the best, the safest approach.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Honored to be here.